folks, my name is Bob Piorun, and I'm here today to interview my friend, Doc Westee. We're going to talk about his early life, his life as a vet, his relation to the great race, and also his musical life. How you doing, Doc?
Very well, thank you, really.
Well, let's start with where were you born, what year were you born in your early life?
Whew. I was born in Queens, 13228 Hillside Avenue, Jamaica, Queens. May 25th, 1929, 3 months before the great crash.
You went to school down in Queens?
Yeah,
That's where you went to
Richmond
school. And then
Hill.
after that you went to Cornell? Is that where you went to?
Well, I took pre-vet in a Sampson College, believe it or not, right after the war. The GIs were coming out and they opened 4 associated colleges.
Where was
upstate New
that?
York.
Where was that?
Sampson, Geneva. And
Geneva.
One of them.
Yeah.
And one was in Plattsburgh and one was in Mohawk. And I can't remember where the other
And then you went to Cornell?
Pre-vet, then I went to Cornell.
Right. So after that, how did you meet your wife and get into being a vet in Auburn?
I always wanted to be a veterinarian. I was a weird kid. Other kids were playing baseball and all that. I had animals in my basement.
So you were experimenting on animals?
We had lived in attached houses with the L going over our head. My father was almost indigent. We had these attached houses and the railroad was going over our... We had chickens, pigeons, and I had pet alligator. I had all kinds of weird animals in my basement, really. I always wanted to be a veterinarian.
So did you operate on any of these animals?
It's a lot. That's a long story.
So then you went to Cornell to study.
Right, veterinary medicine. Right.
And how long were you there?
4 years.
4 years.
I drove the ambulance in Ithaca for room and board. I lived in the human hospital there.
Now, what years were you there at Cornell?
56 to 60.
Okay.
I graduated in 60.
So you had already been how about the war years? What were you doing? You were just a young kid then.
That was before I went to vet school, actually. I was during the Korean War, 1952.
Right.
I was in the Presidential Honor Guard at Washington. They sent me there. All my friends went to the front lines in Korea. I was the guard at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier.
Well, that's quite an honor.
It's almost unbelievable. Yeah.
But before that, your brother was in World War II.
Yeah.
And
he was my hero. He was my father figure. He was 7 years older than I was. He was a pilot. He flew B-26 Marauders and he got shot down. He was a prisoner for about 6 months.
A German
prisoner for about 6
Wow.
months. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your early life and how you met your wife and the fact that her father was actually a vet.
I drove the ambulance in Ithaca, room and board, which was quite a bit of money, and I let them draft me because the GI Bill was going to stop. I didn't have any money, so I enlisted in the Army for 2 years. I wound up in Ithaca, and my roommate was also a pre-vet, and his sister was a nurse there, and he wouldn't let me near her. I was about 7 years older than she was, and I finally met her. We got married in the chapel at Cornell.
And she was originally from Auburn.
Yeah, she's originally.
And her father
was a veterinarian.
And his name was
Dr. Eberts.
Eberts. And so your wife has actually grown up her whole life and lived in your house on Grand Ave.
That's correct.
She spent her whole life there where your practice was.
That's correct.
And then, you established was that the first place you established your practice, right on Grand Ave?
No, first year I worked up in Maine. I did just large animals, horses and cows. And then I went to Long Island. These are all top practitioners. I worked for this guy who just did, Dr. Feldman, actually, small animals.
So what year did you finally come to Auburn?
1961. My father-in-law called me up. He said, "You got to come up here," because his son, my buddy, who was a veterinarian, was working for his father, Dr. Eberts. He was in the Army. He begged me to come up. Everyone said, "Don't work for your father-in-law. You got to be crazy."
So you actually worked for your father-in-law when you started. So
he said you can buy the place in 2 years. 8 years went by.
Oh, so you didn't get it till what, the late '60s?
Yeah, right.
And then you established
1969, I think, I bought the place. I really wanted to be a large animal vet. I mean, a zoo vet.
Right.
It's like a political appointment. The head of the zoo hired all of his nieces and nephews. They were veterinarians. And,
Yeah.
but I had a call on Auburn Plaza. Well, this is about 30 years ago. I was going to see a cow. Something wrong with the cow. And he said, "You got one more call." I went to this place. It was an elephant out of Auburn Plaza.
Really?
Had a puncture wound. It was a traveling carnival.
Oh, I see.
Had a puncture wound in its elbow. And I went in there like with my briefcase, my knees knocking. I said, "Where's the elephant?" Like, you know what? Like the 10th one of the day. It's a true story.
Really?
I gave it a shot. That was fine then. Then I went behind the college the next day. The carnival traveled behind it, Elbridge High School rather.
Yeah.
I followed it there. Thing remembered, I swear to God.
Oh, really?
Threw me against the wall with its trunk. They had to hold it down with these 2 ear hooks.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah,
Wow.
I gave it another shot. We didn't have any really long-acting penicillin.
What?
So they had to see another vet at the next town for a few more days. I feel sorry for the next vet.
What was the smallest animal you've ever worked on? About a gerbil or a snake?
Quite a few of those, and snakes too.
Oh, people have brought snakes to you? I mean, what do you do with a snake, Doc, as a vet? I mean,
You can x-ray it and see they swallow, they vomit. And,
I see. Anybody else?
Eating, dehydrate, you can give them fluids.
Oh, really? Okay.
Sub-Q
So,
fluid.
I often wondered, being a vet, you must, you got to think about all the dogs you've taken care of. It's interesting. Were you ever worried, like, that they would bite you? I mean, you're sticking thermometers in them.
I got bitten a few times.
You did?
The worst one was when it's a stupid thing, I should have known better.
Yeah.
But the waiting room was packed with the animals waiting to be seen. As a good client of mine came in, and I never seen. Actually, I did see this dog. It was a pit bull, that head big as an elephant.
Yeah.
Right? And I told her to wait out there, treat it in the car. Never treat a pit bull in a owner's car. Really.
So it bit you?
It sunk. Oh yeah, it was laid
Really?
out. I bit right to the bone.
Wow.
I went to reach around her. She was holding its head. It was panting like it wanted to be petted. Choom. Had to pry it off my hand.
You'll go get a shot or give yourself one? I don't know.
No, I had to get
Yeah, that's something. How about cats? I mean, are they ornery when you start messing around with them?
No, they're easy to take care of. Some of them are tough,
Yeah. And you still have it.
One lady's, she's a good friend of mine too. I won't mention her name, but she came in with a cat and there was a bunch of people in there, and a dog ran up to her and a cat sat on her head and had diarrhea all over her. Honest to God.
I'm not sure if we'll be able to use that, but I guess...
She's a good friend.
Oh, she's still a good friend.
She's still a good friend.
Tell us about when I still go to your studio, your former place, there's a cat that hangs around there.
Two of them.
Where did that cat?
Clementine, they're my cats. 15 years old. I saved both of them. They're both 15.
Were they feral?
Clementine and Krusty.
Were they feral cats that just had to come around the...
No, they're feral.
And it was just a few years ago that you retired, so you actually were a vet for how many years?
58.
58 years you were a vet.
And I didn't retire. I had to. I got injured.
Right.
I fell and hurt myself.
Well, you have a lot of friends and you saved a lot of animals, that's for sure. I got 2 of them upstairs that are very good, thanks to you. Okay, well, so Doc, after you established your family here, you did get involved with the Great Race, and you were one of the initiators of it. How'd that come about?
Yeah, I'm going to straighten that out because everyone calls me the founder of the Great Race. I'm really Marty Keogh, Al Hastings. Without Al Hastings or Marty, there would be no Great Race.
But you were one of the initiators.
Yeah, I just came home with the idea, and I talked to Al Hastings, and Marty and I talked to Al Hastings at the Y, who was the youth director, and he set up the whole thing. From then on, we picked Jim Hanley he was a big deal.
And what was the year? What year was that started?
1978.
78. And just to backtrack a little, a lot of people don't know it, you had a little bit of athletic ability in the fact that you had bicycled across Europe, and you also bicycled all the way down to Florida.
Yeah, Marty Keogh and I and Dick Ballion biked to Florida 100 miles a day.
Wow.
We trained a lot.
Yeah.
In fact, we put 60,000 miles on my bike.
Is that right?
45 years.
How old were you then when you
50.
did it?
On my 50th
You were
birthday.
50. Yeah.
Then we went to Europe. We did that twice, Vienna to Stockholm.
Wow.
And then Vienna to Stockholm to, Vienna to Paris to England we did too.
So did that play a part in initiating the Great Race? That the fact that you were
No, we did that while it was going on.
So
I want to say Brad Davidson, Dr. Davidson, and Jim Hanley, and Donnie Dell'Estrito, and a lot of people.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for them, it wouldn't be any Great Race.
But you were definitely a big part of it.
Oh.
Yeah. All right, let's talk a little bit about your family. Tell us a little bit about your kids.
Andy and Lee you taught, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're all in bands now.
And what is your other son's name?
Philip. Yeah, he's
Philip?
a lawyer.
Yeah.
My daughter's a dentist at Latham. Philip's
Right.
a lawyer. And they're all singing in bands.
So I first met you when you brought, I believe, would have been Lee or Andy. They both took lessons from me. I forget which one. Lee took bass lessons.
Lee and Andy.
I forget, but that's our first time that we met each other, and after that, of course, I brought my animals to you. But so let's talk a little bit about your family and how that related to your getting into singing. I recall when you were 76, just a few years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, right.
You said to me that your kids were down in Atlanta and they had just done a show where Lee had done a Kiss tribute and your son had done the Alice Cooper tribute. And they sent you some footage. Was it video or just pictures?
Actually, it was, I've got both, actually.
Yeah, I think they sent you a video, and you thought, as a little joke on them, that you would like to kiddingly film yourself singing Frank Sinatra, even though you hadn't sung out before. So you hired Steve Gage, and he came down here, and what happened from there?
Well, actually, when I sang all my life in the shower, okay? And I'm believe me, I'm like pathologically introverted.
Uh-huh.
If I called you up and I said, I got something I'd like to learn how to sing. And you said, I said, it's a stupid question. You said, there's nothing stupid about music. And that started from there. I started taking lessons from you.
So we filmed, as kind of a joke, we filmed you sing. I don't recall our first song. Do you recall what the first song was?
Kind of been a Sinatra song.
Yeah, you wanted to do Frank Sinatra, so I made some background tracks and we recorded something, and Steve videotaped it and we sent it to your kids. But I think you got hooked on the idea of recording and learning songs, and from then you did a lot of things. We went out and you played on some gigs with me. Last year you did the Great Race. Tell us about that.
Well, the national anthem.
Right, you
Is
did.
that what you mean?
Yeah, the national anthem.
I was a little nervous.
Yeah.
There's 10,000 people there.
You did good though. And then let's see, you sang with the Civic Band.
Yeah, I did. That was fun.
Right. And you've been out on some gigs down in Osteria Salina and some other places that I played. You've actually come down and sang some songs with me. Why don't we talk a little bit about your musical influences and tell us who your main people are and why you like them.
Well, Sinatra was number one. I was raised down there. In fact, when he broke away from Jimmy Dorsey on his own, I saw him at the Paramount Theater.
Oh, you saw him. You remember what year that would be? Or?
I was 14. It was probably, what year would, I don't know.
Now, I see footage of kids going around the block for blacks to line up. Was that true?
I was dating this girl who I was nuts about, okay? I took her to see Sinatra.
Really?
A bunch of us went.
Yeah.
And he hit one note, and she was screaming, crying, and I hated the guy for a while.
Is that right? Yeah.
Really.
Did you immediately like his voice early on?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was, well, everyone, he was the big time then.
Yeah.
Hot stuff.
Yeah, that's amazing. The teenagers actually liked him.
It's not just his voice, it was his whole background after that. His
right,
charisma.
but he was from Hoboken,
He was
so...
half gangster and half playboy and everything.
He looked like, I always, like on TV, he looked kind of scrawny and small, didn't he?
Well, he was a skinny wreck.
Yeah, he did look very small as a young person. So that's your main influence. Anybody else strike your fancy?
Frankie Lane and
Frankie Lane.
a lot of them, really. And Billy Eckstein.
Oh yeah, you like Billy
Yeah, I went to Montreal to see him, and I was going to school up there,
Yeah.
Plattsburgh.
How about some of the newer singers like Michael Bublé and
Michael Bublé,
Yeah.
unbelievable.
yeah,
But he
there's,
hasn't written. It's a matter, you know, Sinatra knows 500-600 songs, maybe more than Bernie McNabb.
yeah, maybe.
But he never wrote his own song.
Yeah, he
Even
didn't.
Nancy. Somebody else wrote Nancy, his daughters.
Yeah, Sergeant Bilko wrote that. Phil Silvers.
Really?
He wrote Nancy
I
the
thought
Laughing
Paul
Face.
Anka wrote that.
No, that was My Way.
Oh, okay.
Phil Silvers, Sergeant Bilko wrote Nancy for his daughter.
I just learned something. I thought it was Anka.
Did you know that he hadn't had a big hit that was on the top 40 till he recorded Something Stupid with Nancy?
Oh, yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, we could look this up, but that was one of his biggest hits ever. It was just a flute that he recorded with his daughter.
Yeah, he was something else. Really. I gotta tell you something, this is a true story. When I was a kid, I mean, I was really pathologically shy. You gotta believe me, you helped me a lot.
You don't seem shy to
Singing.
me, but
To this day, I couldn't get up in front of a group of people and give a speech or anything. I went through high school and 8 years of college without ever giving a speech. And you helped me a lot. I'm telling you.
Well,
I still get really nervous. But.
well, I think, Doc, every performer has some anxiety when you perform. That's natural. So, but you've gotten better over the years. You seem more relaxed.
Yeah, it's getting better, really.
As a musician, I often give a lot of credit to my wife because she's she's hardly had a date in 50 years because I'm always out playing. You must have a similar situation with your wife. Why don't you mention your wife, her name, and how she's contributed to your success as a vet, putting up with the stuff a vet has to do.
Unbelievable. This is our 60th year. This next year, we're married 60 years. March 7th.
Yeah.
And we raised 3 children, right? 2 boys and a girl.
Now, what's your wife's name?
Suzanne Eberts.
Suzanne
Her father
Eberts.
owned the practice that I bought.
Right.
Really. When I worked all the time. I think the reason my marriage lasted 6 years, we never saw each other.
Yeah, similar
No,
thing
I'm
with
serious.
me. Yeah, similar.
I was working 100 hours. I mean,
Yeah.
I go to bed and I get up at 2 or 3 every morning, take care of a cow or a horse
Yeah.
for 20 years. And
That might be the secret to longevity in marriage, that you don't see your spouse.
it helps, really, because it's tough. I'm
Yeah, it
retired.
is.
My wife and I are starting to talk to each other a lot. Bad news.
Well, that's good.
No,
How about
I love her dearly, and she's still beautiful.
How about your kids? Let's talk a little bit about Lee. She has a close relationship with Kiss. Tell us a little bit about Lee and her relationship to that band.
Well, they're not. She has met them, and I got
Right.
pictures of her with
Right.
Kiss. That she didn't back them up singing or anything.
Right, but I
she
mean-
did a tribute band,
Right.
female tribute band.
Do you
Her
remember
makeup, she was Gene Simmons.
she must have formed a liking for them back,
Oh, yeah.
obviously, when she was living home with you as a teenager.
They had a Kiss band, a neighborhood 4
Oh,
girls.
did they?
Charged 25 cents. So, she played, I don't know what they did, but
Yeah.
the neighborhood gave them 20.
Remember if
She was like 10 years old when they did this.
I don't know if I showed her any Kiss songs. I might have, because a lot of the kids back then, I do remember teaching them Kiss tunes. So she actually started her liking of them here, and then she went to Atlanta
Right.
and she was a dentist, right?
Right.
But
Dennis.
she had a tribute band.
Right.
And then your son, Andy, got into,
I supported him. He loved rock, hard rock.
right.
He's written 60 songs, and we took off. He went to University of Rochester. He was 3rd in the state in math, and
Is that right?
he's in the Who's Who book, and he's got a 160 IQ.
Wow.
Genius.
And
all he wanted to do was sing and play a guitar.
yeah, I remember
He wound
him
up
taking
in
lessons.
Atlanta, and he almost made it. Atlantic Records tried it. They were going to sign him.
He formed a tribute band, and he was into
Oh yeah, what was it again? Oh, was it a tribute band? No.
Alice Cooper.
No, not really. It wasn't no, he always had his own band. But
Oh, I see. I thought he had
was
done.
a fan of Alice.
Oh, okay. I thought he had done.
He put makeup on like him and stuff.
Oh, I see. Yeah, in a similar fashion. So, and then your other son, was he a performer also?
He's a lawyer. He was in his own band up in Michigan.
Well, lawyers are performers in their own right.
Sweaty Palms was the name of his band. He's got
Sweaty.
a great voice.
Oh yeah.
He's still doing it. They're all still doing something.
Well, let me ask you, you grew up liking Sinatra, so your kids are growing up and they're listening to Alice Cooper, they're listening to Kiss. What was your reaction to them? What did you say to them about that?
No, I liked it. I liked it a lot. I got to like it because all my kids liked it, and I heard it all my life.
Right.
I mean, since they were born.
So you didn't.
So I liked it, but
you didn't discourage them.
No, I supported Andy. I mean, really, I was supportive of him, but.
Right. Would your wife think about that? The Kiss.
Same thing.
She supported it.
Yeah.
How about we perform a few songs? You ready?
When I was 17, it was a very, very good year. It was a very good year for those country girls and those soft summer nights. We'd hide from the lights on the village green when I was 17. When I was 21, it was a very good year. It was a very good year for those city girls who lived up the stairs with their perfumed hair, but it came undone, 'cause I was 21. When I was 35, it was a very good year. It was a very good year for those blue-blooded girls of independent means. We'd ride limousines and their chauffeurs would drive. When I was 35, but now the days grow short, and I'm in the winter of my years, and I think of my life as vintage wine in fine old kegs, from the brim to the dregs, but it flows pure and clear. I've had many, many good years. I have many good years. Many good years.
Okay, here we go, Doc.
Okay.
All of me.
This is it. All of me, why not take all of me? Can't you see I'm no good without you? Take my lips, I wanna lose them. Take my arms, I'll never use them. Your goodbye left me with eyes that cry. How can I go on, dear, without you? You took a part that once was my heart, so why not take all of me? left me with eyes that cry. How can I go on, dear, without you? You took the part that once was my foolish heart, so why not take hold? Oh, why not take hold? Why not take hold?